And here it is, the finished Pear, my freckled big butt. And this is how it turned out. This is so bad. It's quite vivid now, I see, in the colors. And there's this one. It's quite fun actually. So yeah, now you can see how, yeah, kind of creating the room with different textures and stuff. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. It was a nice thing to paint actually. A long time since I've done a Pear. I hope you give it a thumbs up, leave a message and share it with your friends, and check out my Patreon page and maybe support my work. It would be great. So with this, until next time, stay tuned. There will be more videos coming. Yay! How to make an object that is boring quite interesting. Well, you find one with a strange shape, and then you put it up like this, balance it with something behind it, and you paint it on a small canvas, where I already have a Pear that I started on 2 years ago, which I never finished. So I'm going to use that to paint this one. That's going to be fun. Okay, so here we go. Stay cool and watch me paint a Pear standing with a strange shape. Okay, here we go. So this is a strange shape. How big is it in reality? Goes there and up there. So we'll make it a little bit smaller. Maybe from here. Yeah. So if that's the right size, well, can actually go for the basically oh, that's not right. See there, there to there, the whole thing. Yeah, I don't think that is so bad. Approximately like this. I thought it was taller actually. Strange. Oh. No, it is like that. Ah, it's up here. Yeah, that's where that stilk, as it's called in Norway. So it's up there. I don't think that is so pretty. So I might want to do it. Well, see what happens. Do the composition first. It's just like this. Then I take some green. Like this. Oh, my computer makes noise. Then it comes out here. There. A little bit lower down, maybe. There. Out and boom. This. Shadow. The thing is, the good thing is that I usually paint before I go to bed. So my brain, and I usually eat some very nice fatty fish or some nutritious food and I'm giving my neurons the food they need to connect new neurons. So I'm learning a lot when I'm painting. You know, we can't really build, I need some more color, it's raining. We can't really build new neurons that good if you don't lead a healthy life. So it's something to think about. Say you are obese, your metabolism is off, you have high blood sugar, a lot of inflammation in your body, and you can't really focus, and that is because the brain doesn't get what it needs to grow. So, as I said 100 times before, if you're an artist, lead a healthy life. I want to make a video about that on my YouTube channel, because that is only about that. One of my big things. Remember, I have experience with this. I've done all this bad stuff, and I've been obese, and I've been slim, and I've been top trained, and I've been totally fucked up, and I've done all these things, and I know the difference. And we humans aren't that different from each other. People tend to like to believe that they are so different. Oh, I'm special, and you don't know me because you don't know what I did. Well, we are so alike, and we are doing basically the same mistakes all the time, everyone. So, yes, you can actually read a person's life in the small things. You do not need to know everything about them to understand what is wrong. Of course, if you want to go into the depth of things, you have to go deeper, but usually things people do wrong has the same causes. And that is why we have psychology. If you couldn't predict reality, both in when it comes to human behavior and physics and stuff, you couldn't actually have any therapy or science or anything, because there just wouldn't be any objective standard. Okay, and the same thing goes for painting here. If there were no great masters or great painters in history, great artists like Leonardo da Vinci and stuff, and you don't take that into account, and I mean, you don't have an objective standard, there's no rules, there are no good or bad. Like I am having this, I'm doing this, I'm a moderator for a group called the Oil Painting Artist on Facebook. I got that, the guy that started just didn't want to do it anymore, and he asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said yes, and I did a little cleanup, and I made some new rules that people has to follow, and I'm kind of picky, a little bit picky, not a Nazi about it, but I'm a little bit picky for what I accept in the group. And there was this woman, I think I don't know why I should have deleted this painting, maybe I did it by accident, but she sent me a personal message on Facebook and why I had removed the painting. And I couldn't remember that. There were hundreds and hundreds of posts and spam and stuff I have to go through. So the fact is that I might even just have done it by accident, because I couldn't really see any reason why I shouldn't have accepted her painting. It wasn't great, but it was quite good, like on average, or maybe even a little bit over average. A little bit too flat, but you know, it wasn't a one I would have rejected, to say that. And I wondered if it was acrylic, or if because it doesn't accept acrylic painting in that group, because it's called the oil painting artist for a reason. It is for oil painting, okay? And no, she had to follow the rules and blah blah blah, and I just said, well, I think it's a nice painting. And by the way, she had some other paintings, so she had painted some horses and stuff on her Facebook page. And I mentioned that I thought her paintings was quite good, but your horses, I said, is really good. And yeah, blah blah blah. And then she got angry and started to complain and whine that I had deleted her painting, and that she didn't want to be there anymore, or something crazy. She started to attack me. And of course, before I could reply, she had blocked me, so I just went into my backup account, and I sent her a private message there instead, and told her that it's sad to see that you are one of the narcissist painters that can't take any criticism or any rejection, and that you aren't willing to maybe even listen to an opinion about your art. And I have seen that painters has a very many, not the ones I like though, they are more humble in the light of art history and objective standard. But there's no doubt that a lot of artists, especially people who aren't that good, are narcissists. I'm not claiming that I'm that good, but at least my paintings are honest. I have a lot to learn, and I have so many things that I can do better and will do better. And I'm not even close to what I want to see done before I'm dead. So that is how I view myself. And a friend of mine from, actually a patron and a fellow painter who is quite good in his doing those landscapes, and they're quite good. I really like them. It's very honest and very Turner-esque. And he told me that he had paid a lot of money to find for painting tutorials and painters that wasn't coming up to my level. He called me a master and all that, and I said, well, I'm actually not, but I think it's great that he thinks that. And yeah. But the people who can't really take any, when I reject, if her painting was rejected, it wouldn't be fair in any objective. If I compared it to the other things that I let through on that page, she should be accepted. And I also told her that she could actually repost it, that maybe it was a mistake. I couldn't remember it, so... Well, I kind of remembered seeing it, the painting, before, but I couldn't really remember deleting it. So I wonder, because the rule is that if you haven't written in technique and size, and if it's a bad photo, or I don't accept it. But if it wasn't that, there was no reason for me to delete it. And I told her, I even said good things about her and other paintings, and she got angry anyway because she couldn't take that. She couldn't take rejection. And the problem with a personality like that is that they can never learn new things. They can come to a certain point, but they can't really go beyond that point because they don't have the necessary introspection to be ruthlessly self-critical and really suffer under their own mediocrity. If you're gonna become better as a painter, you really have to be ruthless, honest, and have this objective standard that keep your feet hammered to the ground, almost like a nail through your foot, that you don't fly off into a narcissistic self-glorification that actually many artists do. Maybe out of uncertainty, maybe out of trauma from childhood, maybe many reasons for it, but you can't grow. It's almost like a scientist who always thought he was right. Actually, it was one of the reasons why the Nazis didn't get a nuclear bomb, because the guy who led the program had done some mathematical mistakes, but the people around him were so scared of him that they didn't dare saying it. So the math was off. So that is also happening to scientists who fall into their own little bubble. And it happens with people in relationships, it happens with people in friendships and everything. And if you don't have the necessary introspection to be self-critical, you won't evolve. And that woman will never evolve. I told her, you are not Rembrandt or Turner, so you should be a little bit more humble and not react like she did. I mean, I as a moderator in that group, I have to go through so much amateur stuff and so much spam. And I have nothing against amateur stuff, but for fuck's sakes, take a good photo of your work. It might be let through if you do a good job taking it, but you don't even do that. It's like, oh, I'm an artist, I'm just gonna throw this out there. No, you have to do a better job. Sorry. Anyway, no idea why I went on this rant, but maybe it's a little bit interesting. You can see what I do when I paint this pear. I just kind of play with the shape and have fun, really. yeah, it's quite fun. I'm getting into it now. I can feel that in my painting is becoming more fluid. It's a very good feeling. That feeling is what you will wind up with if you just keep painting in the end. You have to have, and that is also research about flow. To get into deep flow, you have to have a certain amount of skill in what you are doing. Because when you start to struggle, really struggle, it is very hard to get into that deep flow where the music takes over and time just stands still. Flow demands skill. Okay? So evolve skill and flow comes. So yeah. Hope that little rant was helpful. I know I say these things all the time, and you shouldn't be afraid of actually listening to it more than once. Hopefully my channel will at some point start to really grow, and every single video will be a new video for every single new member or subscriber. Yeah. So it probably don't matter if I bang on a little bit about this. I have to talk about something. I mean, the ones who are already watches my videos know what I mean. If I could get like 1,000 views a day, I would actually start earning some money on this channel. It would actually cover my internet and yeah. But then again, I do have the Patreon, so I do take in a little bit there. That's good. I'm very grateful for my patrons, the ones who actually put their money where their mouth is. See now, is that the right shape? Maybe. I think it's quite cool to have it standing. First I actually put it into the wall, but again it was so boring, you know. It was really boring. But this actually worked, because if you place an object like this, you give it something extra. That shadow becomes another object, and everything, the light here becomes an object, the light here, the shadow here, this one, everything becomes an object within itself. Yeah, so that is why I think was very smart of me to kind of pull it out like that. Hopefully it won't fall down and break. You know, these pears are really fragile. When they start to rot, it really goes fast. And I guess that is why I never finished the other one. But in this one I don't have that much time, so I just have to work on it every day and get it finished. So I'm gonna make it happen. Yeah, it's still running. There's not so much break off soon. There's no more battery actually, sadly. Just so when I said beep beep beep, it's over. I use the same background for 3 paintings here now. And I do it on purpose. I think it's nice to make these series. And I like that background, so. Maybe I'll paint this one a little bit bigger from a photo, just to see the difference in how it is when I do it in photo, contra live. Some people ask me, do you paint from live model? Well, I paint fruit from live model. And I'm going to start doing self-portraits now. It's going to be interesting. They're going to work almost like a biography. Actually, I was supposed to write a book called Vix 42. Actually, the title is from Christopher Hitchens' biography, Hitch 22. Mine is going to be called Vix 42 because I got the idea when I was 42, and I think I'm gonna make this some self-portraits that actually deal with biography, talk about my childhood and my love life and struggles and everything in sections while I paint. Maybe that's interesting for people, for my beloved followers, the few fans I have. Strange to think about that, me having a few fans actually. So it's a humbling experience, as Carl Sagan said. And it is, actually. It is an amazing feeling to know that people actually learn from my work and really get something out of it. There are people who told me that they started painting again because of my videos and my art. So if nothing else is an achievement in life, I think that is actually an achievement worth having. It's kind of giving something back, you know. There's a red spot over here that I went in just as a contrast. So it's funny that it's still hasn't stopped filming. But it probably will soon. So I really like this now. I really enjoy it. I think you can see that I'm enjoying this. It's almost like my brain is playing music. It's just singing. I can take it so fast now. It's amazing how being without all that pain has cleared up my mind and kind of make me connect with my great love, painting. Okay, is this nice? Say yeah! Well, my palette is also totally dirty, so yeah, okay, that's the first sketch. There, there's also a shadow, comes down like this. Well, all of these things will be done better. Well, okay. Ding. It's so funny, it's kind of underneath there. This is too fat. This is a little bit more crooked. Like Hillary. It's like crooked Hillary. Okay. That was almost a half an hour. Exactly. Oh, I wish I had more. That was wrong. Anyway, that was exactly a half an hour. Okay. Doing some glazing before doing some more painting. First the retoucher, doing some Retouching Varnish and then some glazing. I mean, so. So, fuck. These small things are so difficult. So I had picked up something here. Doesn't matter. So I will glaze in about 10 minutes. So stay tuned. Okay, here I go with some glaze. Let's see. As usual, I'm using my medium for glazing. It is 70% turpentine, and it is 30% linseed oil. Cooked linseed oil. It's very important. You mustn't use the raw because it never dries. That's a big mistake. Anyway, I actually painted a painting many years ago with raw linseed oil, and that was not a good idea. So don't do that. It's very important. The difference is crazy. Okay? Maybe a little bit too much here, but you know, I'm gonna paint over it anyway. And it's very nice to have this beginning, as I usually tell people. So I scrape away a little bit of the oil. But with the Retouching Varnish on it, it usually just gets sucked basically into it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So, and then I can just start paint on it. So, of course, I forgot to bring my yeah, whatever. Open a new one. I buy these in Norway. Da Vinci. It's very nice. I love these because all sizes. The small ones, they are quite cheap and not that expensive, and they work very well for my purpose. So yeah, but I just need to go get my pencils. I wash them with soap. So. So silly, I put them in my kitchen, and it's not where it's supposed to be. Anyway, I'm going to start with the light here and just shape the Pear, as it's called, the Pear, and kind of try to do a segment that aren't that long, so it's more to the point. You know, every video, every painting has its own life in a way, and it's quite interesting to. For me, anyway, I recognize that I basically say the same things in every video. Hopefully in different ways, maybe even me getting better to explain. So what I do here, I take my Prussian blue and some cadmium yellow. It gives a nice greenish color, cold greenish color, and I just start with that, and after a while I will of course start to I also used cadmium lemon. That gives more citron yellowish color, and I also use a deeper orange like you see here, so I get kind of different. I could use a lot of time actually mixing these colors. That is what I used to do when I was in the beginning, and that is how I learned to basically use the colors and evolve a color spectre in my head. It's very important to evolve a spectre of the ways. If you buy like flesh tint or sky blue and all that shit, you know, there is no such thing as sky blue, or a pear green or an apple red or whatever. I'm sure you can find a color on the internet or in some store called apple red. It wouldn't surprise me. But it's just a prop to sell you unnecessary colors. So here I used, actually I take a little bit of raw umber and burnt umber, and I just put them together and keep painting. The good thing here is that I can take some cadmium yellow and I can just put on, give it some more shape with adding more yellow, and since the burnt umber is more in the red, it becomes a complementary contrast. That is quite important. So maybe this is the way to make my videos. I can talk about how I blend the colors, and I can also show, I'm gonna make a whole video just about how to use the palette, the different sizes, how I prep them, how I work with them in different sizes and different paintings with different colors, and film both, maybe try to film both of them at the same time. I think that would be very helpful. Remember to put up your palettes the same way every time so you learn. And I'm gonna make also about that and how I clean the palettes and what to do with excess color after you have painted. If you know if you ask me, I'm using Old Holland, mostly Old Holland. I have some Michael Harding and a couple of Winsor & Newton, 3 Winsor & Newton colors that I use. But you can also get them in, that is just an old habit in a way, and I'm basically working myself into only using Old Holland because I like thickness. The thing is with different colors, like Winsor & Newton has raw umber that is perfect for when I put the darkness on my prepped canvas, when I do that turpentine thing, because it has a very nice neutral greenish color to it. In both, and the second best for that is actually Michael Harding. The Old Holland one is a little bit too reddish, actually. It is more like the burnt umber. And so it's hard for me to go all the way away from Winsor & Newton. I would prefer using Winsor & Newton to that. So yeah, that is basically the one I use. I also use one called Naples Yellow Light, but you also get that one in that is just a kind of broken down yellow to make it easy, because you can blend it up and you can blend it to all sides actually of the spectre. So you just have to kind of figure it out. But think as this palette as your instrument, as your piano, and you don't want to switch around the piano every time you start painting. You want to have the same structure every time, so you can easily, your brain can easily get into that deep flow. So you don't have to, it doesn't have to multitask while you paint. This becomes more and more automatic. And the more automatic you can make it, the deeper you can actually get into this thing where you actually play with all the different nuances and brush strokes and everything. So yeah, that is basically how I would go about it. I see there are some artists who have the palette on a board or something, and it's for me that would be so static. Okay, I'm looking here, now I have to go all the way up here to blend, and then I blend instead of going bam, 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 bam. It's almost like, well, okay, if you get used to it, I guess it's a way to go. But for me, or I've seen even worse, people who have colors on a table, and then they mix colors on the table, and then they do, and that is actually almost walking around the corner and back again to put on the next layer, the next brush stroke. So you put a brush stroke, then you walk around the corner and you come back and you put another brush stroke on. So that is how I view it. I mean, people who have learned to do that probably do it easier than it would be for me. If I put my palette, I would still be able to mix all the colors the same way I do, but it would be a more static and conscious process. And you don't want to stay in the conscious. You want to go into the subconscious when you paint. You just want to. You want to be in a runner's high. You want to be in total flow. You want to be, yeah, that's where you want to be. You want to be in the, when sex start to just become totally fluid, or dance or whatever, and or you read a book and you stop thinking about time, and all that. You just that is the way to go. So yeah, maybe this could be a standalone video. I think I explained it quite well, actually. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that just for fun, as a segment of this Pear video. You see now, I build shape like this. It's enough small standalone videos. I might put these videos into different channel I have, and just as segments to, and on Facebook maybe put in segments of videos on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. You can't actually put these long videos on Twitter, so you see how the shape is now just pouring out. I have this discussion on Facebook about, I made this video, big thing, why I'm so flown, why digital paintings suck, and the point is just, digital painting is not painting. Digital painting is, and people who can't paint, they believe that painting is about getting the motif to become, a perfect rendition of the motif. But painting isn't about that. Why would Rembrandt put on all these beautiful brush strokes if he only wanted to make a perfect rendition of his face and self-portraits and stuff like that? No, it was about all the textures, all the different brushwork, the highs and the lows and everything. And people who doesn't paint have no idea about these things, and it's the most important thing of all, actually, to understand. So yeah. Okay. Så, control. Okay. I think you get the point. Then I start here. You know, there's now dark here because I did all the glaze. So I could actually bring the shadow up by not painting the shadow. I just take this and I go like this and this and boom, here is the shadow. Okay, then yeah, need more kraplak, and I just like this, and I tone it down again. No, I need some. Actually, now I'm using the. That's the Van Dyke brown, and I mix it a little bit with kraplak, and it turns a little bit more bluish but deeper. So, yeah. Okay, like this, and boom, we have the pear. Yes, but this has to be a little bit more red, so I use the Van Dyke brown. Van Dyke brown. Van Dyke. Yeah, Van Dyke. It's too flat for me. I like painters sculptural. Okay. Like this. Like this. So. I think I did some photos of this. I think I want to paint them bigger in a very photographic version. I'm wondering about that. I would like to see the difference in making an object. Maybe I should do that with some more of them. I have some really nice big, I even have a pig's head in my freezer now. That a dude got to me, and I thank him for that. Sadly, they had cut off the ears. That would be fun to have the ears on. So, okay. Well, you see the point, I hope. Oh, that was 20 minutes. Well, see. Okay, there we go. More painting, more Pear. Just had to post that. Actually posted that segment, last segment, on YouTube just now, because I thought it was quite informative, even me. And it's nice for the channel to have some shorter videos that is more to the point, and gives people something to learn faster from. It's a nice shape here. These, you know, when you go into the detail of the shapes and stuff, you start to see more. It's almost like every object like this has their own personality. They've gone through their own. Every single object gets a different amount of nourishment and different amount of light and different amount of every single pear or apple or whatever is always a little bit different. And this one was really cool. I mean, I can imagine what it has gone through. It's funny because I stand there in the store and I almost jump up and down when I find a pear or an object that is just so totally different from all of the rest and can give me a good reason to paint it. So yeah, makes me happy. Actually makes me happy, and that's fun. It doesn't take much actually to make me happy. I get some painting and some money into my bank account and some peace of mind, and I'm good. Getting older is a good thing, I think. You just kind of slowly calm down. You start focusing on important things. Key. Just gonna use different tools like this. Try to build the most I can of the substance of it today. And then I have maybe 2 overpaints more. I have to deliver it to an exhibition on Friday, so I'm kind of pressed for time, but sometimes that is a good thing because it forces me to just totally focus. I haven't been doing anything but painting for the last 8 days, I think. I've just been home. I was at the gym just to get some gravity into everything. Lifting weights can be a very good thing when you go all mind and you just snap out of it and you get some pump in a way. So it's a good thing. I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow. Just do blah blah blah. Back to painting. Sorry. I'm trying to hold on to the painting thing. Anyway, I'm gonna go deeper now to detail, and you saw me last segment. And I'm gonna go in here and create a shadow. More. That actually goes a little bit more down here. When you paint wet and wet, it can be quite liberating because you can actually shape the paint and mix on the canvas like this. It's just great. Simply great, actually. But I think I'm gonna do these from. I did take photos of them, so I think maybe later I should do some from photo just to show you how different it is. It is very different actually, because the colors in the photo are quite limited. But in reality it is a much broader spectrum, and it's more 3D and everything. But then again, I usually, when I paint from a photograph, I do actually paint in that 3D dimension that I find in reality, and that is why my paintings, even when I paint a model from a photo, they never really become photorealistic. They become more like the Rembrandt's paintings with textures and brushwork that kind of sticks out of the canvas. So, yeah. Just gonna try to get some more light here. And I need to drag it down because, and like this, it kind of goes down. But then the problem now is that if I go down, I lose that. Because the same thing here, here in the shadow, I will keep it very much down. But in the light area here, I want to build it out. So that is what I talk about relief. And then you get more of a feeling of real shape. And that is basically why I'm not into the photorealistic thing, because they don't build the sculptural dimension, in at least not as much as I like. They keep it down and try to create a good illusion, but not actually going in for the full control, the full shape of the thing. So yeah, that is my thing, I guess. So how would digital art do that? Of course, you can't. You can never do that. Of course, you can create a computer that are printing 3D, and you can have a program in a computer that imitates that thing, but it's not the thing, okay? It is not the same thing. Mm-hmm. So there's all these spots, freckles. The pear has freckles. In a way. I love freckles actually on girls. It's one of the most beautiful things I see. A girl with pure skin and then she has a lot of freckles. It's so sexy. I don't know why. And I also like pear-shaped woman, so I guess that is why I like a pear with freckles. Yeah, that was a total digression. But I do like freckles and I do like a pear-shaped woman. The bigger the butt, the smaller the waist, the better he is. It's nice with a nice head though. He doesn't have much head hair. But then again, no, intelligence is actually a great thing. I like talking and discussing stuff. So freckles, big butt, and a good brain. And yeah, it's good. And a good brain, what do I mean with a good brain? A good brain is a free brain, a brain who doesn't kind of do what I would call thought fascism on themselves, that they are locking themselves into one single idea of reality and don't question it at all. Because it doesn't feel good, or it's not politically correct. We are afraid not to be. It could actually be a big think video. I call it inflicting thought fascism on yourself. In a way, it is just one way. You are allowing yourself to be a free thinker. Because you're so afraid to be yourself. So I need to write down that. Have another channel that I want to put out stuff like that. I don't want to bother this channel with my political stuff, but I'm a free thinker. And I usually don't even agree with myself. So, and that is the kind of woman or girl I need in my life. Someone who have a big butt, small waist and a nice brain, but also is a free thinker. Someone I can really talk to, discuss with. And a girl that is honest, just stop me when I become too much and tell me to shut the fuck up. That's what I need in my life. Anyway, from a pear with freckles to this. Anyway, that's how I am. So, let your mind free. Let your mind flow. If somebody argues with you, think, hey, maybe they're right. Maybe there's something to this. Have I been wrong all this time? That's what you should ask. I used to mean basically the opposite of what I do today. And then I changed. No, first I meant some parts of what I mean today. Then I changed totally into becoming basically a left-wing nut. But, yeah. And then I kind of started to question things. And in the end I realized that I couldn't trust my own subjectivity at all. and that I just had to go with the facts. So, and I feel like I have managed to get this also into my painting. That kind of honesty. Wow, I said something nice about myself. I should do that more often. Maybe I get used to it. Being a free thinker is very liberating. It's not necessarily good for your economy or your friendships or being liked by everyone, but that's fine too, I guess. I want to put in some nice snacksy, some lovely brush work here, just like this, to make a contrast. This, and yeah, I feel it's starting to. I have to move this one a little bit towards it, like this. Yeah. I'll get away from it actually. There. That's good. Now I'm just gonna do a little bit more. Just want this to be in there. So here. There's also this. And like that. And again like this. So see, it's totally wet and wet now, and it's great. It's a great feeling. Okay. Like this. It's actually a very thin line around. But this throws up some quite reddish lights up into, yeah. Well, first I need to put in that one. Like this. Some yellow. Citron yellow. Citrus. Dominus. So, okay. Guess that's better. Now, so this one, yeah, and this one. I'll use the background a little bit. To make this a little bit slimmer. Yeah, that was nice. You know, I do actually experiment a little bit. You can take some some liberties just to enhance different traits, funniest things you can. It's not supposed to be slavery, you know, you don't have to be a slave to exactly, but you should try to get as close as you can, and then maybe stretch some stuff a little bit more when you actually have the control over it. And, so I think I'm gonna basically say that it's not from this one for today. I have a few more paintings to paint on today, so I should actually use a couple of hours every day on an object painting of some sort, because yeah, so it can be very liberating. So also have to do some canvases. So yeah, okay, that was wrong. Some light source here and here. And there's that line. Okay. Shadow goes a little bit out. Goes down here actually. Then it kind of goes in like this. You know. Slides a little bit in like this. Boom. Yeah, I think that would be where I ended up today. Like this. And I will be a little bit ortho correct here to enhance the shape, to give it a little bit of a bang. It's always nice with a bang. And I need some yellow. And bang. So freckles. Okay. Yeah, that was a nice ass. Don't you think? Nice butt. Okay, see ya. Okay, I'm gonna do some more work on my sweet big butt freckle girl. Yeah. Oops. Just need to do some strategic glazing again. I need some strategically clean medium. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Okay, same shit as always. I don't need to show you every time that I start with the glaze. I got a question yesterday. Oh, but how do you do the glazing? Oh, come on, you see me. You should have seen me do that. And from now on, I'm just gonna ask questions. If people are patrons, I'm gonna engage with them and explain everything every time, or explain. And I explain if they're not patrons also, but it's easier for me to just point to a video about glazing, or a video about how to use the palette, or a video of how to. I mean, if you go to my channel, you will basically find a video about most things, and I talk about most things in every video. You just have to watch them. I can understand that for some it's not necessarily so good that I keep derailing from painting in my videos. Removing some oil, not much. I also had a Retouching on its own. But when I derail from my painting and start ranting about life, everything and the universe, okay. But if you put on my videos when you're painting and you just have them in the background, not so loud, and you can just listen, because I do go into painting and then I go into other stuff and then a little bit about life and keep on kind of going back and forth. And if you want to pick up advice, it's a good advice will be to just put them on, let them roll. You don't need to have to watch all the time, you just listen to what I say. That's how I learn a lot. You know, I learn by when I'm on when I put on YouTube, I can listen to lectures, I can listen to audiobooks, I can listen to all kinds of stuff while I'm painting. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna lighten this up a little bit and get some more shape here. Yeah. And it's a very bright right there. Actually, my eyesight wasn't so good today, and I was actually, maybe I should go check my eyesight, because my grandmother actually had degenerate maculation, is that what it's called? And if I did have something like that, it would be good to know, because you can do a lot with your diets and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, I probably don't have it. So yeah, focus. So hopefully it will be maybe the last layer of color. I'm not sure. I'll see how it goes, because I like to build, as I say, I like to build textures and stuff, and quite manic about it, so it's hard to know exactly when to call it quits. You know, it looks like a pear, there's no doubt about that. I mean, it even looks like the pear I'm painting. It's a portrait of a pear. But, you know, the more overpaints you have, the deeper you can actually get into it. So I'm looking forward to start to paint bigger object paintings, landscapes, and more of my big figure paintings. I have so many videos coming out of bigger figure paintings, landscapes and portraits. So there's a lot coming. I also have another channel, two other channels actually, one for more political stuff and thoughts and stuff. But I'm gonna make one channel with and redo many of my videos and post them in a better version with hyperlinks, and like one big one and one and it's only gonna be painting, only my long painting videos, and this channel I will use for more okay, sorry, I suddenly went empty for actually space on the card here. I should do more. I don't remember what I was talking about, so probably a good thing. So here we go again. Anyway, I'm going to try to get in some freckles and yeah, really has gotten some shape now, so just to keep on enhancing without getting neurotic. It's very important. Not lose control. I used a lot of time today on this little face and this landscape, and I had it so nice and suddenly it just was gone. So frustrating. Is exactly why when it comes to paintings it's very important to have some leverage when it comes to the time, that it is possible to screw up and take it to the next level, and I don't have that right now. So. But then again, I feel great. So. Funny, yesterday it was more crooked, today it goes more up. So the question is, what do? I keep it as it was. You know, put it in the fridge. It can be the cold that actually bends it a little bit, and of course it's a pear, and pears tend to rot quite fast, so it has to be quick when we paint one. You can't hold it in your fridge forever. So the process goes very fast with it when it first started. So see, I also use my fingers. Try to get that pear feeling. Pear skin. På norsk heter det Pear. Norwegian, the name is Pear. Where I come from, we have a dialect. We say Pera. In Oslo, it's Pear. And where I come from, we say Pera. But actually in Oslo, it's Pære. Pære. Something. They're using the thumb R, and but where I come from, we're using R, like the Germans and the French. So it's different dialects in this small country. With actually in Iceland I come from, there is different kinds of dialects even on that small island with like, I don't know, 40,000 people living there. 70, I'm not sure if that's with the town. And Haugesund, which is not a part of the island, but kind of the same place. You know, it's not a big place. So that was nice. Just and boom. And boom, did you hear that? Oh, be careful. Yeah, I don't know why I'm able to see these small things. It's like, it's so little that kind of gives something some bang or just kills it. It's not that big difference. And that is what you have. That is kind of, to get there, you have to evolve some skill first. I don't know how skillful I am, but I guess I feel like I'm at the point where I can predict my process quite well. And not always, or sometimes I have an apple here that I made as a, it's actually quite nice when I look at it now, but I was working like crazy. It's a Patreon giveaway, and I just couldn't get it right, and I tried again and again and again and again, and I changed the background, and the apple just were rotting, and the apple changed, and I changed the apple, and it was kind of this fight between time, me and the apple. Am I going to finish this before the apple just totally dies, or this is going to finish me? And I almost painted over it several times, but I stopped myself, and it became quite well actually. It's really, yeah. It's not as good as I wanted. It's not. I'm not saying that I reached my goal, because I didn't. I never actually do. I reach maybe 50%, 60%, and that is a skill wall. You know, you hit that wall. I don't really. Many times I don't have no idea how to scale that wall. And I just keep trying until I kind of manage to leap over it in some way, or don't, but just content with at least getting half the way. So I know my paintings are honest. That is a good thing. My things are honest, and they are screaming out that I mean it. Even this thing. Just a Pear. See now. See how I need to find that. Nice color. Funny, I haven't been out doing anything social now for 2 or 3 weeks. 2 weeks, 3. And kind of feels fine. I need to figure out how to stream on YouTube. Actually, so that I can get more in touch with my fans, so they can watch me paint and ask questions. See now, there's some green here. There's a spot of light there. So there, and there's one here, and one over here, and you have this with some reddish in it. That's the one who is basically strongest. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to keep painting and show you. Okay. Yay. Oops. This. Okay, I'm now slowly moving towards finish. Not there quite yet, but as I say, moving in the right direction. Need to get... I've been standing for a very long time now. I guess should stretch. You see, here, like this, and getting bright lights on top of it. It's actually going to be a little bit in the bluish. This one. Blue. Funny, I haven't touched the cobalt. See what happens if I do. Yeah, maybe that was actually better. Try the cobalt. It's very clean, so it becomes blue very fast. Let's see. There's going to be some reddish also. There's a lot of ish in this. When you are working with colors that are toned like towards the warm, it becomes a lot of ish. There's not so many clean colors. So, that's better. Yeah, there's also some. Make this line a little bit more opaque. Actually, it's the opposite. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud now, because sometimes you have to, when you come to a point like this, when you start to reach the end, you have to also, you can't stay in total flow all the time, so you also have to go into the intellectual place to get a grip. So shadow coming there. So Now that light is sending warmth up like that. And it also explains the shape underneath like this. It's a very nice effect. I love that effect. It's very logical, very natural, and you just have to learn how to see the different hues and stuff. So now, should have done the still lifes, finished them first, and then done the most difficult thing after that. And I did a mistake of doing it the other way around. So I start to stress with a figure painting, small one, and the reason I started to stress was that I knew I had to finish the still lives, and it's a very big mistake. The best thing, it's like you have an exam. Do the things you can first, then you go back to the things that you don't know after. So you don't wind up throwing away all the time in the exam on that task that you don't know how to do. So, and it's very important to actually think like that. And I did a mistake, not to listen to that voice, and then you get stressed, and then things tend to crumble a little bit. But I managed to at least get over some of the things I was going to. Probably wind up with one painting less in the exhibition because of that. I guess I just have to live with it. What's that? Starting to look like a pear, doesn't it? I agree with that. It's funny how there's great pleasure actually in finishing works, even something as basically insignificant as this. Such pleasure, you know, these things here doesn't really exist in there, but I kind of just follow some, you know, I just enhance it a little bit and play around a little bit with shapes. So yeah, I do invent a little bit in my paintings, like these things, and then I follow it up. So in a way, it's kind of a micro abstract dimension there. This. And I think that I will also tone this a little bit, because I don't want it to come too much out, but I want to see if we can put in a strategic stroke here. You have this fucker over here. This one. You know, that way you create some. I can also put in some. Let's see, I would do it around. You see what I mean? You get this dynamic thing going on. Colors moves your eyes around. So So it's a very nice stripe, light exactly here. And again, I need this. Also need this here first to explain it. You don't want a shadow to be kind of a hole. So I want there to be something inside of the shadow. It's very important, or it just becomes a hole. And that is a difference between a person who know a little bit about painting and people who think that shadows are black. You know, they just smack bang a shadow. But it's not how it works. You can't create something natural out from that. In the Night Watch of Rembrandt essay, he has used the glaze to put the shadow on top of the suit of the guy next to the spear. Does he hold the spear, or is he next to it? Well, anyway, the shadow is so naturally made, and with colors, probably it's made by, he kind of knew the law or the color circle long before the color circle was invented. well, I don't really know that. They had some, and it didn't have that many colors either. So, but anyway, he used the complementary contrast to create that feeling of motion in the painting. And that is what happens when you put complementary colors beside each other and create shadows that are made of real color. And yeah, I see many people try to create shadows from black or grey or whatever, and it will never work. It will never feel natural. So try to go for color, understanding the color circle and how nature operates. It's very important. Some reddish in this one too. Here. I have to be careful. So, that might be it. It's a very nice spot of light right there, which is very important. There. Explains a lot. Yeah, I'm doing a little touch-up tomorrow. No, I seriously need to go to bed. But I think it's kind of reaching its conclusion. Way too noisy behind here. So can't be too much noise. Freckle the big butt. So, it was better before actually. It was too much red, so it screwed up. When it's too much, it's not pinpointed enough, and you lose that nice effect, because it's like throwing in too much white, and the more white you put on, oh, I need more light, I need more light, and the more you throw in there, the less light you get. And that's what I did now. I put in too much red, and in the end the red lost its potency because it was all over the place. So I'll turn it down and pinpoint pointed better. I haven't done much explaining actually while I'm painting, so maybe I should do more of that. So the hole there is smaller actually. But I just fix that first thing in the morning. Tonight actually. Because it's daytime now. 3 o'clock or something. I thought I was going to sleep until about 10. Then I just go and do more work. Yeah, that was better, I think. I need one more brush stroke. Cross over here to bring those two together. See in the distance. Yeah, I guess it looks like a pear, doesn't it? Yeah, definitely. Okay, see you tomorrow. And voila, here it is. Thanks for watching this time-lapse video. And here it is, the finished pear. And yeah, hope you get something out of it. And if you like, please leave a comment and give a thumbs up. And check out my Patreon. By the way, here is the pear. And yeah. So remember, sharing is caring, and all that stuff. So with this, thank you for watching. Yeah, you probably noticed it wasn't a time-lapse video, but I don't know why I said that. But hope you enjoyed the video and see you in the next one.